Hi, this is Dan, editor at Quattrini magazine. We're just doing a small series of videos in relation to an upcoming series of articles in the magazine. The series will be headed up by Stan, who's doing a trip to Poland on his Lambretta. So we're going to do a few unboxing videos of some of the products that we've got lined up to go in the engine. It's a small block engine for his Lambretta, and so let's take a look at some of the products. Right, the next item that we're going to have a look at, we're just going to have a quick look at the couple of suspension items that he's going to be using. As I mentioned in the other videos, this isn't really an in-depth technical thing, it's just more of an unboxing, let you know what he's using, why he's using it, and then if you follow it in the magazine and online later on, you'll know what went into this build, what problems we had, if at all any, and how we coped with those. I say we, it's going to be Stan riding to Poland, not me. So we've got a couple of BGM items here and also a reed speed item. These are the probably very well known BGM front dampers. I've used these on quite a few scooters and I really like them. If anybody who's watching this will remember when I had a failed attempt at being involved in scooter racing, but I had got it into my head that because of the overall duff geometry of a Lambretta frame and its swinging attached engine, that there wasn't much you could do to improve the handling of the scooter. And I didn't go to town. I got some okay bits on my scooter, but when I got out on track, I promptly found the shortcomings of my suspension setup to the extent that eventually I just fell off and broke my leg. So that was quite a harsh lesson to learn. I'm not saying that's necessarily going to be the case for everybody, but it is if you ride like I ride, which is like an idiot. So I then fitted some better suspension items, and one of the first items I fitted was these BGM dampers, and they transformed the front end of my particular setup. I haven't seen the reed speed shock yet, so I don't know what to expect when I unbox that, so I don't know how that's going to go, but I actually also used the BGM rear shocker at the time, and between those two and some other alterations that I made to the engine bolt and the cones and some other bits and pieces, and the brakes and tyres and one thing and another, overall the package was superb, and it was vastly improved. And it's then something that I went on to use on my road scooters after that, just because I was so happy with the way that it worked. But these are a really good bit of kit. Off the top of my head, I think these are £190. They've got multiple settings on them. They slot straight on. It's not a difficult item to fit. Obviously you'll need the right links for those, if not you can get the adapters for them. But another bit of kit that they do, which I think is really useful, are these brackets, which if you haven't got the damper bracket on your existing forks, then these are a really nice way of just adapting your existing fork setup without having to go to the trouble of sanding them all down, welding on the new brackets and then having them whatever powder coated or painted or whatever again. You can just literally fit these on and fit these on. Bearing in mind that the majority of the force is going to go through the suspension springs and that this is to damp the rebound. So these are a really good bit of kit. I think I've got the price here. So these are £55. If you weigh that up between the cost of buying the weldable links, brackets are only cheap, but then if you've got to pay somebody, you know, or go to the trouble of the labour of yourself of scrubbing off your old forks, welding them on, measuring them up to make sure they're all correct heights, once they're welded on, they're in that fixed position, so on and so forth. This actually works out at a really good financially viable option, and they actually look pretty trick too, so I like these. So that's a nice front end setup there. And as I say, I don't know what to expect from this because I've not seen this reed speed one before, but if it's like any of the other stuff that comes out of reed speed, it's going to perform really well. So it looks like it's got a nitrogen based system going on here, obviously fully adjustable, spring height, and then various settings on this, which is just a simple click setting. So again, we all know how to fit a rear suspension unit, and then it's just a case of knowing how to then set up the correct spring and damper settings so that you get the correct sag and all the rest of it, but I'll say it's not an in-depth technical, it's more of an unboxing to see what we're going to use. Stan, the politest way possible I can put it, he's a big unit. He's a big, tall, heavy bloke, and so he needs good bits of kit like this to make sure that his ride to Poland is as comfortable and safe as possible. So I think these will do the job. So that's the suspension. We'll have a look at some of the items in the next video.